Rotenks from local TCG here, bringing you guys a Tachikaze deck profile of VEB09. For people that don't know, Tachikaze is an Excel class, so you have the choices of Excel 1, which is an additional rearguard second front row, which you give that rearguard 10,000 power on your turn, or Excel 2, which is again like Excel 1, you make an additional front row rearguard, and you draw a card when it's created, but instead of 10,000 power, you get 5,000 power. So to start off the deck profile, of course you have the traditional when wrote upon draw one starter, usual shit. Then we'll go through the trigger lineup quickly. You have 4 crit, 4 8 crit. I don't see the use in running more draws or fronts, since all you want to be doing is pressure with 3 standing with this guy. So you just go 8 crit, then you have 4 draw PGs, usual shit, and then 4 heals, again usual shit. Then we'll go to the grade 3 lineup, since like you have the pretty important key card in this deck, which is your new VR, Thundering Sword Dragon Angeryblader. What Angeryblader does is, he has an axe skill and an auto skill. His axe, you put a rearguard into a unit's equip gauge, and you kill off one of your opponent's rearguards. And that's pretty good for turboing that gauge, which can also be used to turbo out his second skill, which is the main win con of this deck. So when this unit attacks on Vanguard, counter +1, restand up to 3 of your rearguards with 3 or more equip gauges on each, and your entire front row gets 5k until the end of turn. So you could just use this with like your sweeper or Mega Rex and just have big numbers and restand. It's your main combo you want to try and get yourself like first or second ride. So yeah. And then you normally have a bit of space for tech slots. For my tech slots, since I don't like the usual build, I decided to go for 1 Dark Rex. What he does is act at drop zone. If you didn't ride that turn and you do a greater, you may ride this card or call it your rearguard by discarding 2 equip gauges. So it's free field presence if you can get it on the field and you have excess gauge, or it's a free ride if, like, say you got some Baku locked for some reason. Yeah, there's that. And then his second skill is Vanguard or rearguard. When it attacks, it gets 2k for all of your equip gauges, not underneath this, on everything. So that's pretty big sometimes. And then here's my boy, 2 of Armored Mammoth, I think. Is it Armored? Yeah, it's Armored Mammoth. What he does is, on attack to Vanguard, you may get rid of all his gauge, and your opponent must go cards from hand equal to that gauge into the gauge you dropped, if he wants to guard it, he or she. So say you had 3 on him, you gate out 3, he has to drop 3. They have to drop 3 or more when guarding. So you can just restand him later and just do that, and you might be able to steal some wins. It's bullshit. Then we head on to the main part of the grade 2 lineup, which are like the staple shit. You have 4 Sweeper Rex. What he does is both rearguard, act on rearguard when attacking. What is it? I think it's just on attack, I forgot. Well, on attack you can just gauge himself once per turn, so that's pretty good. And then his second ability is, for every gauge underneath him, he gets 5k, and if he has 3 or more, he gains he cannot be killed by your opponent's rearguard effects. So I mean your opponent's card effects, so it's basically resist. He cannot be chosen. Then you have 4 Mega Rex. What he does is, on attack, Vanguard rearguard, kill a rearguard, draw a card. On attack to a Vanguard, you kill a rearguard and you draw a card. And then if it was on rearguard, CB1, gauge itself, and it gets 5k for each gauge. So as you see, these 2 get power for each gauge they have underneath it. So it just becomes big attackers with Angeryblader. I think, yeah, it's only till the end of battle this guy, while this guy's permanent 5k on both turns. But that's still good, since it can be a bit explosive without your opponent noticing. Then you have 4 Turbo Smelodon. What they do is on place or when attacking Vanguard, this is on both circles, you may put the top card of your deck into a gauge in one of your rear guards. So it doesn't have to be this, it could be your Sweeper, Mega Rex, or your Mammoth. Or even your Savage Trooper, which is the next grade 1 we'll go over. So what Savage Trooper does is, he's an 8k grade 1 in a rear guard continuous, just like Sweeper. He gets 5k? 5 or 4k? I think it's 5k, I can't read it. Well, he gets 5k for each gauge underneath him. And unlike Sweeper though, he does not gain resist, but he can become big. And it is annoying to try and kill him or Sweeper, since it'll just be like at 23k on your opponent's turn, which is a substantial amount to get just to kill a rear guard. And next grade 1 is Light Blade Dragon something, and their skill is Act. Rest of this unit, you put a gauge into one of your other rear guards, or you move all of your gauges to that unit you selected. Then you can counterblast one that shows the unit gets 5k. So say, what's a good example for this one? That you had to put gauge on this Turbo Megalodon, yeah? Pretty useless underneath this. So you just chuck down this, chuck down that, use the skill, use Light Blade to get the gauge from Turbo and put it underneath Sweeper. That way you aren't stuck with just 1 or 2 gauge underneath a useless card, and instead it's on a card that gains benefits from it. And then if it's lacking power, you just count plus 1, bump it up by another 5. That's an extra 5k card, which is pretty good. Then you have Angry Raw Dragon and Robo. I run him at 3. What he does is on place, you soul boss 1, gauge one of your rear guards, and then it gets 5k for every gauge underneath it. So essentially this guy, he just doubles his power, again kind of double his power, doubles the power, makes it big and annoying. So yeah, he just makes a lot of things a bitch to guard, especially when you're on Angeryblader. And then I had the last card in the deck, which is 3 Laser X. What Laser X does is on place from hand on rear guard, gauge it, and then if it's to be killed off from rear guard, you soul blast 1, bounce that gauge to hand. So your usual shit is call down that, ride this, call down that, kill off this with this, you draw, you bounce the gauge, and you plus 1. So yeah, not bad, you just lose a soul for the process, but there's only 2 cards in the deck that soul blast. Unlike before, I think you had a fair bit of cards that soul blasted in EBO2. Was it EBO2 or what? I don't remember. I'll edit it in, but yeah, this was the deck profile. Hope you enjoyed.